Welcome to P4, that is posterior chain week 4 for beginners. Today we're going to be warming up our body with our singular band. Just a few other things you're going to need. You'll need a chair for sitting on. You'll need a bed or a couch or a bench that we're going to support ourselves on. And we're going to need our bands and our anchors as always. So today we're going to start with over the top with our light band, our number 1 band. And I'm going to put a little tension on this. I want to go up and over my head, going back, and then coming back up and over, and that counts as 1. We've seen this one before. So we're going to start with a little tension on the band. We're going to do 12 of these to get warmed up, starting in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to go over the top. That's why it's called over the top, and then back down. That's 1. Open, down, 2. Open, down, 3. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. Now we're going to go ahead and set this off to the side, and we're going to do our standard lateral lunge and Shiko warm-up that we always do. I'm going to put my feet wide. My hands are going to be up. I'm going to rock to one side and then rock to the other side. You should be getting pretty used to these at this point. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and hopefully your range of motion and your comfort level with them is improving. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. We're going to go to 12 just for fun. 11, 11, 12, 12. Very good. Now we're going to bring our feet in and we're going to do Shiko, where I am going to rock to one side, extending the leg out, and rock to the other side, extending the leg out. We're going to do that for 12 on each side, starting in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to rock, come back, rock, come back. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10, 2 more, 11, 11, 12, 12. Excellent job. All right, so now we're going to get started with our first technique, we're going to do the two-handed band pull down. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to make it more challenging. Whatever band you normally work with, I'm going to say move up a band or add a band. I'm going to add a band today. So what I'm going to do is take my number 3 band, which is the one I normally use. I'm going to loop it around my anchor. And in this case, the anchor could be my pull-up bar. It could be the top of my door anchor. I find for these, I prefer the pull-up bar, but if you have just the loop, that's fine. Anything sturdy will work. So I'm going to lay out my mat like so, and I'm going to place along with this, I'm going to put my other 2 bands up there too, because I'm going to add some bands so that way I've got a little extra resistance. So I'm going to do my first set with an additional yellow band, and I'm just going to loop that through my hands like so. I'm going to go ahead and sit down on the ground. Yeah, that's good extra resistance. And from here, I'm going to pull down and then slowly come up. And we're going to do 8 to 12, starting in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. All right, so then for me, that's just the right amount of resistance. I'm super happy with that. So I'm gonna take 30 seconds off, and we're gonna go ahead and do that. So just so you guys know, in case you ever wonder what I'm doing over here, for much of my training career, I lose track of things. So what I do is I keep a couple of coins on a ledge to help me count sets, so I don't get lost. So in case you're wondering what it is I'm doing over here, the other thing I do is I keep my water here, as you can see. Let's go for number 2. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. That's number 2. Take a short break. And why are we adding resistance? We're adding resistance because it's progressive resistance training. And I may not want to jump up to my level 4 band. That may not be where I want to go right away. And anyways, the reason you always see weight as weight's very, okay, distance, time, and weight are very easy to calculate. So super easy to calculate. That's why most studies are based on those things: distance, time, weight. So with resistance here, it's a variable resistance. Doesn't matter. More is more. So we're going to add more resistance. And what do we get? More resistance. Who cares? All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 1. We can add reps. 2. We can add sets. 3. Or we can add resistance. 4. Or we can alternate between them. 5. Add a few reps. 6. Add a set. 7. Add some resistance. Repeat. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. Just like calories. You can eat less, you can move more, you can do both. But at the end of the day, you still have to have enough to recover on. It's the same thing. You can't outrun a bad diet. Your knees can't take the pounding, neither can your back. You can't, you know, we all run into the same basic resistance points. We run out of time, we run out of energy, or body just can't recover fast enough. So you gotta color inside those lines, you know. All right, let's go for one more. And they're not the same at 20 as they are at 30 and as they are at 40 and so on. Starting in 3, 2, 1, pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great job. All right, so I'm going to pull these down. I'm going to set them off to the side because we're going to come back to these later. Now, we are going to set up today and do something known as a bench bridge. Now, a bench bridge, I would need a bench for, but I don't have a bench. What I have is an L-shaped couch. So that is what I'm going to use. As you can see, my very professional gym setup here. So this could be a bench, this could be a bed, this can be many things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit, instead of doing a regular bridge with my shoulders on the ground, which you can still do that if you choose, I'm going to elevate my shoulders, making it more challenging because my hips go further. And so what I'm going to do is sit down in front of my bench, my bed, or my couch or whatever, and I'm going to put my feet on the ground like so. I'm going to drive my hips up, squeezing my glutes, keeping my shoulder blades on the support object, and then touch the ground, keeping everything nice and tight. We're going to do that for 8 to 12 repetitions, starting in 3, 2, 1. So hands stay up. 1, squeezing my butt down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Take a break. That's 1. You'll notice that those are more challenging than standard floor bridges. But the key here is I want my shoulder blades on whatever the object is, and I'm keeping my core stable. I'm keeping my chin tucked so my head's not flopping around. And I keep my hands up and my shoulder blades pulled back so there's some stability here. We're going to go for number 2 in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pinching my shoulder blades back so they're stable. 6, 7, keeping my head neutral. 8, squeezing my glutes at the top. 9, not pushing away. 10, pushing my hips up. 11, 12. Very good. Take a break. That's number 2. 2 more to go. We're also introducing variations of things that get more challenging over time. Why? Because progression. That's why you follow along A1, P2, A1, P1, R1, A2, P2, R2, because there's a sequence to the events. Now, say you get to the end of the beginner program and you're like, I'm not ready to move on to intermediate. That's okay. Start over at the beginning of the beginner program. It's fine. You can do whatever you need to do because you can add resistance, you can add repetitions, you can add work. You could stay in the beginner phase for a whole year, consistently adding because that's your level of technicality. There's nothing wrong with that. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 1. In fact, I would highly recommend getting the basics down. 2, before you move on to the next level. 3, most people try to move on too fast. 4, it's really about doing what's sustainable for you. 5, 6, 7, 8, squeeze the glutes. 9, keep the shoulder blades back. 10, keep the head neutral. 11, 12, very good. One more to go. Doing great. Get a little water if you need it. After this, we'll move on. But the main key is that you're staying on a scale of 1 to 10, a 10 being total failure, an 8 being technical failure. I can no longer do it properly. We want to be between a 5 and a 7 consistently. Occasionally going to an 8, but 5 to a 7. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. All right. Let's go ahead and roll up our mat. And we're going to grab a chair now, because we're going to do a single arm seated row. Roll this up. Doop, doop, doop. Now, what I want to do is I want to grab a band that I consider relatively challenging, but not overly challenging. So today, for me, I'm going to use my number 2 band. I'm going to loop it through my middle anchor, like so, and I'm going to clip it like that. To do a single arm seated row, I have my chair here. I have my band set up on the middle anchor with my handle. I'm going to, just like doing a two-handed seated row, sit on the chair with a little tension on the band, and I'm going to pull to my side, thumb up position. See it over here? Thumb up position, shoulder blades back and down, slowly let it out. We're going to do that for 8 to 12 repetitions for 4 sets, starting in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to pull 1, 2, keeping everything nice and tight. My core is tight. 3, my feet are planted on the ground. 4, I'm not rocking in my torso. 5, there's some rotation. 6, but I'm not rocking. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Switch sides. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. All right. Set that to the side. That's one set. Take 30 seconds off. We've got 3 more like that to go. It's okay if I'm rotating. What I don't want is to be moving like this. Rotation's fine. Stabilization in the core. In fact, learning to stabilize in the core and rotate is one of the benefits of this technique. But we don't want to be arching and rotating. We don't want to be rounding and rotating. Rotation, fine. Rotation, good. But everything else should be stable. Going for number 2, starting in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch sides. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great job. Take another break. We will move on. 2 more to go, and then we'll move on to our finisher. So, as always, we're working in our vertical plane, horizontal plane, hip dominant movement, and then something that's going to isolate and help the smaller muscles develop so that we can make progress quicker by making sure the little muscles are coming along with the big muscles. All right, let's go for number 3. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Awesome. 1 more to go. And then you get to move on with your day, finding your 10,000 steps somewhere out there in the distance, because we all need that extra movement. 30 minutes of strength training is vital. It's very important to aging well and health and longevity, just overall health. But you got to go do the movement too. You got to go out there and you got to hit the pavement. You got to get the steps, do the activity. This is for your muscles, but you also need to do things for your heart and your brain. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch sides, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. All right, now we're going to go ahead and grab our level 1 band, and we're going to do middle pull-aparts. So you can grab your level 2 band if you'd like. I'm not going to do that, but you can. I'm going to hold this in front, thumbs and forefinger off for me. If you want to overhand it, you can. It's up to you. I'm going to pull back to my chest, slowly release. We're going to do 8 to 12, starting in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. Take a little break. You know, there's something to be said for having your setup organized and out and available. And what there is to be said for that is the plain efficiency at which you can move through this is time efficiency. Having a certain degree of organization allows you to move through things quickly and efficiently. And so it's about having an appropriate system. We want to have an appropriate system. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. You know, one of the things you have to ask yourself is, what's your time worth? And what I mean by that is, if you can automate something or systemize it so that way it doesn't take more time than necessary and it doesn't take more energy than is required, you're doing yourself a favor in the long run. So I am not a terrifyingly organized person. Let me be very clear. But the things that I do regularly and consistently, I try to have a certain methodology to it, so that way it's more predictable and requires less energy. Starting in 3, 2, 1, so that way I can save my time and my energy. 2, for important things. 3, 4, that I can be totally present for. 5, 6. For example, this is, 7. I have a system for making my coffee. 8, 9. Could it be more of a system? Sure. 10, 11, 12. But what I mean by that is all the pieces are in the same spot every single day. So I know where to go to find the thing. I don't need to look around for it. And when I was traveling a lot and staying in multiple places over the course of a year, having these setups, having the exact same equipment everywhere I went, that I could just go in and set it up exactly the same everywhere I went. And one of the first things I would get set up is my little workout space. It made everything very predictable for me, which was super helpful. Now I go between 2 places mainly, and I have a setup in both places. So it's the same setup in both places. I don't have to relearn it. Starting in 3, 2, 1. So this system I use to this method 3 is very much from experience. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you're American, you probably know that most Americans are like, I've got a home gym, and they have like a whole freaking room devoted to just exercise equipment because, you know, their houses are huge. But if you're not American, you know that space can be limited and that can be challenging. So that's one of the reasons modular devices that are vertically stored and allow us to utilize small space is super important, because it lets us make the most of what we have. So I also love the fact that in Europe there are a lot of outdoor gyms and I utilize them a ton. So one is none. I have many ways to accomplish my fitness goals, and you should too. So, all right, I will see you for R4 on the next one. Great job today, and go get your steps.